All right, you beautiful degenerates. Buckle the fuck up because today we're diving headfirst into some shit you probably think you know. Solar panels. But trust me, this shit's way more fucked up and interesting than just slapping some shiny squares on your roof and calling it a day. We've got a goddamn genius in the studio today to help us unpack this whole solar panel clusterfuck.
Happy to be here.
Let's cut the crap, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
First off, who the hell figured out that sunlight could make electricity anyway? Were they high as fuck or something?
Well, it all started back in 1839 with this French physicist named Edmond Becquerel. This dude wasn't even trying to make some magic electricity from sunshine machine. He was just messing around with light and chemicals, specifically silver chloride and acid. And guess what? When he shone a light on it, the voltage changed.
So this Becquerel dude stumbled onto solar power by accident while just playing with his science toys. That's some next level shit right there.
It really is.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. Those early solar panels were about as efficient as a drunk trying to walk a straight line. They could barely generate enough juice to power a goddamn light bulb.
So basically useless as tits on a ball.
Pretty much. But here's where it gets interesting. Becquerel's discovery, even though it was basically a giant middle finger to practicality at the time, proved that turning sunlight into electricity was actually possible. It cracked open a whole new world of science and led to a ton of other breakthroughs.
So we went from barely lighting a match to powering entire fucking cities with solar. How the hell did that
It
happen?
was a long and winding road. After Becquerel, scientists started experimenting with different materials to see what worked best. In 1873, Willoughby Smith discovered that selenium was sensitive to light, which was a big fucking deal. Then these two guys, Adams and Day, built on his work and really started to understand this whole photoconductivity thing.
For what now?
Photoconductivity, basically it means that the electrical conductivity of a material changes when you shine a light on it. It's the fundamental principle behind how solar cells work.
Right, but we're still talking about some pretty primitive shit here, right?
Yeah.
When did those clunky solar panels from the 70s show up?
Well, the first commercially available solar panel was actually way back in 1881, thanks to an American inventor named Charles Fritz. This dude built a selenium-based solar cell and slapped it on a rooftop in New York City.
Damn, that's way earlier than I thought. Was it anything like those giant panels you see on solar farms today?
Not even close. Fritz's panel was still incredibly inefficient, even compared to a coal-powered toaster oven. But hey, it was a start. The real game changer came in 1939, when Russell Ohl, an American engineer at Bell Labs, came up with a new solar cell design that revolutionized the entire fucking industry.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. This old guy, what did he do differently? Was it some kind of top secret government project?
No shady government shit here. Ohl was working with the silicon crystals when he noticed that impurities in the silicon actually boosted its ability to generate electricity from sunlight. So he figured out how to intentionally add impurities, which we call doping, and bam, solar cells became way more efficient.
So this doping thing was like giving the solar cells a shot of steroids.
You got it. Ohl's design is still the basis for most solar panels we use today. And then in 1954, Bell Labs took it even further and created the first commercially viable silicon solar cell, paving the way for the modern solar industry.
Damn, those Bell Labs guys were the real OG solar hustlers. But hold on a sec. What about those different types of solar panels you hear about nowadays? Like thin film and all that fancy sounding shit.
That's a great question. While silicon has been the king of the solar world for decades, there are a few other technologies out there. You mentioned thin film solar cells. These bad boys are made by putting a thin layer of photovoltaic material on a substrate like glass or plastic. There are a bunch of different types like cadmium, telluride, copper, indium, gallium selenide.
Hold up, Doc. You're losing me with all these science names. Can we cut to the chase? What makes these thin film panels different?
Okay. Think of it this way. Silicon solar panels are like the reliable workhorses of the solar world. They're thick, sturdy, and have been around forever. Thin film panels, on the other hand, are like the sleek, sexy sports cars. They're lighter, more flexible, and potentially way cheaper to produce than traditional silicon panels.
All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So are these thin film panels better than silicon?
Not necessarily. They have their own pros and cons. Some thin film solar cells are actually more efficient than silicon, but they can have a shorter lifespan and might degrade faster. It's a trade-off.
Damn, it's like choosing between a reliable pickup truck and a fancy sports car.
Yeah.
Both have their perks. So what's the future of solar looking like? Is it going to be all thin film, or will silicon still be kicking around?
It's hard to say for sure. Both technologies have a lot of potential. Silicon's been the go-to for a while, but thin film tech is catching up fast. They're both evolving, getting more efficient and cheaper. Honestly, it's an exciting time to be following this stuff. They're both evolving, getting more efficient and cheaper. Honestly, it's an exciting time to be following this stuff.
Right on. So we've got the old reliable and the hot new thing. Anything else on the horizon? Or is that the whole solar panel party?
There's always something new brewing in the labs. Multi-junction solar cells are another player in the game. These are like the super athletes of solar cells. They use multiple layers of different materials to capture a wider range of light from the sun, making them super efficient.
Super efficient, huh? Sounds expensive as hell.
Yeah, they're not cheap. That's why they're mostly used in specialized applications like spacecraft and satellites, where efficiency trumps budget. But who knows, maybe someday they'll be powering our houses too.
Spacecraft and satellites, huh? So we've got these solar panels chilling in space, soaking up all that sweet, sweet sunshine. That's some serious sci-fi shit.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
But solar panels are popping up in some pretty unexpected places here on Earth too. One really interesting application is agrivoltaics.
Agri what the fuck now? Sounds like some kind of hippy-dippy farming technique.
It kind of is, but in a good way. Agrivoltaics is basically combining solar panels with agriculture. Picture this, a field with crops growing happily underneath rows of solar panels.
Wait, so you're telling me we can grow food and generate electricity in the same damn space? How the hell does that even work? Wouldn't the panels block all the sunlight the plants need?
Nah, it's all about spacing. The panels are spread out to let enough sunlight reach the crops. They can even provide shade, which can help with water conservation and protect crops from extreme heat. In some cases, it can even boost crop yields.
So it's like a win-win. We get clean energy and more food. Sign me the fuck up.
Exactly. Agrivoltaics has a ton of potential, especially in places where land is scarce or water is limited. It's a prime example of how solar can be integrated into existing systems, in a way that's good for both the environment and the economy.
Damn, that's pretty fucking clever.
Hmm.
What else we got? Any other solar-powered shenanigans going on?
Oh, there's plenty more. We've got floating solar farms popping up on lakes and reservoirs. It's a great way to use space that's not being used for anything else and avoids taking up valuable land.
Floating solar farms. Sounds kind of risky. What if those things spring a leak and start polluting the water?
Don't worry, they're designed to be completely safe and environmentally friendly. They use special floating platforms and super durable materials that can handle all kinds of weather. And they don't mess with aquatic life or water quality.
All right, that's good to know. So we've got solar panels on land, on water, and even chilling in space. What about transportation? Are we going full-on solar-powered cars and planes yet?
We're getting there. Solar-powered vehicles are definitely becoming more common. We've got electric cars with solar panels on their roofs to extend their range, and some badass engineers are even developing experimental solar-powered planes.
Solar-powered planes. Now that's some futuristic shit I can get behind. Imagine flying across the country without burning a drop of fossil fuel.
The technology is still evolving, but the potential is huge. Imagine planes flying for days, weeks, even without needing to refuel.
That would be fucking awesome. No more jet lag, no more expensive-ass fuel costs, just endless sunshine and smooth sailing. Okay, so we've covered everything from the early days of solar panels to the mind-blowing possibilities of solar-powered planes and floating farms. I'm starting to think this solar thing might actually have some legs. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got to talk about the downsides.
You're right. No technology is perfect. Solar energy has come a long way, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Hit me with it, Doc. What are the skeletons in the solar closet?
Well, for one, the manufacturing process can be a bit messy. Making solar panels requires energy and resources, and some of the materials used in solar cells can be toxic. It's important to make sure those panels are manufactured responsibly and sustainably, using recycled materials whenever possible.
Okay, so making solar panels can be a bit dirty. But what about once they're installed? Are there any environmental impacts we should be worried about?
Land use is a valid concern. Large-scale solar farms can take up a lot of space, which can impact natural habitats and ecosystems. It's crucial to choose locations for solar farms carefully, avoiding sensitive areas and minimizing damage to the environment.
Makes sense. We don't want to be destroying pristine wilderness just to build solar farms. What about the panels themselves? Do they pose any risks to wildlife or the surrounding environment?
There's been some concern about bird strikes, but studies show the risk is pretty low compared to other human-made structures like buildings and power lines, and the panels themselves are generally safe for wildlife and the environment.
So we're not going to have flocks of birds dropping dead from solar panel collisions. That's good to hear.
Right. The risk is minimal. However, there have been some cases of habitat fragmentation and disturbance caused by the construction of solar farms, so it's important to plan carefully and monitor the environment during and after construction.
Okay, so it sounds like the environmental impacts of solar are manageable, as long as we're smart about it. But what about the economic side of things? Solar panels are expensive as fuck, right? Can regular folks even afford this shit?
That's a common misconception. The cost of solar panels has dropped like a motherfucker in recent years, making them more affordable than ever. And there are a bunch of financing options available, like solar leases and power purchase agreements that can make it easier for homeowners and businesses to go solar.
So you're telling me that going solar isn't just for rich hippies anymore. Regular folks can actually get in on the action.
Absolutely. Solar is becoming more mainstream every day. It's a smart investment for anyone who wants to save money on their energy bills and reduce their carbon footprint. And as technology improves and prices keep dropping, it'll become even more accessible and affordable.
Damn, this solar thing is starting to sound pretty damn good. Clean energy, lower energy bills, and a chance to stick it to the man by generating your own power. Sign me the fuck up.
It's an exciting time to be a part of the solar revolution. As we move towards a more sustainable future, solar energy is going to play a key role. But we still have a lot of work to do to figure out the challenges and make sure solar is implemented in a way that's fair and sustainable for everyone.
All right, you've convinced me I'm ready to slap some solar panels on my roof and join the clean energy party. But before I do, I want to hear about the really crazy cutting-edge stuff. What's on the horizon for solar tech? Are we talking solar-powered robots and flying cars anytime soon?
Well, maybe not flying cars just yet, but there's some seriously cool stuff in the works. Transparent solar cells are one area that's super exciting. Imagine windows that can generate electricity.
Wait, what? Windows that double as solar panels. That's some mind-blowing shit right there.
It's pretty incredible technology. Transparent solar cells are still in the early stages of development, but they have the potential to completely change the way we think about solar energy. We could be generating electricity from skyscrapers, cars, even our smartphones.
Damn, that would be a game changer. What else is cooking in solar labs? Any other mind-blowing breakthroughs on the horizon?
Another area that's creating a lot of buzz is the development of flexible solar panels. These bendable panels can be built into clothing tents and other curved surfaces, which opens up a whole new world of applications.
Flexible solar panels. So you're telling me I could be rocking a solar-powered jacket and charging my phone while I walk down the street?
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds. Flexible solar panels are already being used in some niche applications. As the technology improves, we can expect to see them incorporated into more and more products.
Damn, the future of solar is looking brighter than my future after a weekend bender. It's amazing to think how far we've come. Since that French dude accidentally stumbled onto solar power back in the 1800s. And it's even more exciting to think about all the incredible innovations that are still to come.
I couldn't agree more. Solar energy has the power to transform our world in some seriously profound ways. It's an honor to be a part of this revolution.
All right, let's wrap up this solar panel deep dive with some final thoughts and insights. What's the big takeaway here, Doc? Why should our listeners give a damn about any of this?
The main takeaway is that solar energy is not some far-off sci-fi fantasy anymore. It's happening now, and it's changing the goddamn world as we speak.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
And it's not just about saving the planet, although that's a pretty fucking awesome side effect. It's about taking control of your own energy, sticking it to the power companies.
Yeah.
And saving a shit ton of money in the process.
Absolutely. Solar panels give people the power to generate their own clean electricity, cutting their dependence on fossil fuels and those greedy energy corporations.
It's like giving the middle finger to the whole system.
Well, maybe not that aggressive, but it definitely empowers people to make their own choices about their energy.
Fair enough. So bottom line, Doc, should everyone be running out to buy solar panels right this second?
It's definitely worth looking into. Solar energy is a smart investment. You can save money in the long run, reduce your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
And become more energy independent. It's a win-win-win.
But what about the cost? Solar panels are expensive as hell, right?
The initial investment can be a bit steep, but the payback period is getting shorter as the cost of solar keeps dropping. Plus, there are tons of financing options out there, like solar leases and power purchase agreements, that make going solar more manageable for your wallet.
So you're saying it's not just for rich folks anymore. Regular people can actually afford to get on the solar bandwagon.
Absolutely. Solar is becoming more and more mainstream every day. It's a smart choice for anyone who wants to save money, help the environment, and take control of their own energy. As technology keeps getting better and prices keep dropping, it's only going to become more accessible and affordable.
Damn, you've almost got me convinced to sell my car. and invest in a rooftop solar farm. But seriously, folks, this is important shit. We're talking about the future of energy, the future of the planet, and the future of our bank accounts.
It's true. Solar energy has the potential to change the way we live and power our world in a big way. As we face the challenges of climate change and resource depletion, solar is going to be a crucial part of creating a more sustainable and equitable future.
All right, Doc, I think we've squeezed every last drop of knowledge out of you about solar panels. Any final words of wisdom for our listeners before we wrap this up?
I just encourage everyone to do their research, explore the options out there, and seriously consider making the switch to solar. It's an investment in your future, your community, and the planet.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
And even if you're not ready to go full solar right now, there are still plenty of ways to support clean energy and reduce your impact on the environment. Every little bit helps.
Exactly. We can all make a difference.
All right, you magnificent bastards. That's all the solar wisdom we've got for you today. Hopefully you learned some shit, had a few laughs, and are now fired up to explore the awesome world of solar energy. Get out there, spread the solar love, and let's build a brighter, cleaner, more badass future together.
Until next time.